Hi, I'm Steve Roberts from Dell Technologies and I look after the Dell large format monitors for the UK. In today's session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the portfolio and why we're seeing our education customers deploying large displays in their classrooms, and as well a little bit into the differentiators between the Dell options and some of the other options in the market. So, firstly, one of the main questions that I do get asked is why are Dell entering into this space? Okay. One of the main reasons is we're actually number one for commercial monitors, and we have been for the last 6 years, which is a huge achievement for Dell and something we're really proud of. So what we've done is we've got our engineers that have made us number one in this space, and we've asked them to go away and design the large format monitors for the classrooms, which they've done. What we want to enable you to do is easily connect, present and collaborate. Now we're seeing with a lot of schools they're upgrading to the latest client devices, so moving from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and the client devices have the latest connectivity options, so USB-C, DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort, HDMI. But then you go into some of the classrooms and you have an old projector with a VGA cable. So what we're looking to do is work with yourselves to upgrade those classrooms to enable the teachers or the tutors to walk in and easily connect. So it's all around the user experience, and enable them to connect and start their presentations and their classroom sessions a lot quicker. But on top of that as well, collaboration's key. So with these displays, they are fully interactive, 20 points of touch, and we want to create a more engaging and collaborative learning environment for your students. Now, I mentioned one of the key reasons that customers are deploying Dell large format monitors into the classrooms is our warranty. We offer 3 years advanced exchange warranty on all of our large format monitors as standard. However, if you wanted to increase that to 5 years, you can do. Now, what does advanced exchange warranty mean? It means that if there is an issue with the monitor, you would simply call up the Dell tech support team. They'd troubleshoot some of the problems that you're having, and if you need a new monitor, what we will do is we'll ship another monitor out and then we'll collect the faulty monitor, which means that there'll be less downtime for that classroom, and it gives you the peace of mind that if you do have an issue, then it's going to be quickly resolved with Dell. So, some of the key differentiators for these displays. One of them is the fact that it's powered by an Optiplex micro PC. Now, these PCs you're most likely already using in your infrastructure, and you can choose the specifications that you want to go into the back of the monitor. In terms of my recommendation on specification, I would generally recommend an i5 processor or an i7 with 8 gig of memory and an SSD. And that will mean it is super quick. Okay. Now, the other differentiator for Dell is actually the modular design. So the benefits of this is in 4, 5, 6 years time, when that PC starts to slow down, like every PC will do, all you have to do is take out the old PC and you can either upgrade it or replace it with the latest one. So what we're looking to do is future-proof your classroom for the next 5, 7 to 10 years. Another key thing to mention is that we're software and hardware agnostic. So if you are already using education software options, those will work on our displays, but also it's hardware agnostic. So if you do have current ecosystem equipment in place that wants to or needs to connect to these displays, then it'll work as well. And one thing to highlight is that the PC is actually powered by the monitor as well. So if you have your displays on a mobile cart and you're moving them between classrooms or to different areas on the campus, you only need that one plug socket, which is really key. Now, this is a really cool feature that we love at Dell, and it is unique to the Dell monitors, and it's designed to make it inclusive for everybody. And what it is it's a drop-down feature. So if a student is unable to reach the top of the display and the display is mounted on a fixed wall mount, what it means is the student can simply click on the two buttons on the side of the display, and then it will drop it down. And it means that they can then access the top of the display really easy. Okay. So in terms of the portfolio, we have 3 4K touch monitors which use in-glass technology, and that's the C55, the C75 and the C86. All 4K, all 20 points of touch. But we also have the C7017T. Now this is a 70-inch monitor. It was actually the first one that we launched in the category. It's 10 points of touch and it uses IR technology. But the options that we're seeing deployed mainly in academies or higher education or universities is the 4K options which you have here. Now the 55-inch option we're generally seeing deployed in the smaller collaboration areas, and then the 75-inch, which is this one here, and the 86, we're seeing those being deployed in the classrooms. Now you'll notice that the 4K options have a 12:7 duty cycle. Now the reason for that is that we see, and we've spoken to customers about this, is you will generally come into the classroom, the monitor will turn on in the morning, and then it will turn off in the evening, and that's 5 days a week. So we found that 12:7 is more than sufficient. So with the category, it is not just about the display, but it's also about the ecosystem which goes with it. So for instance, you have the PC which plugs into the back. You also have a wireless keyboard and mouse option, and then we have the different mounting options as well. So whether it be fixed, whether it be on a mobile cart, or whether it be on a height adjustable stand, we can work with you to make sure that you get the right solution for your classrooms. And also within education, we actually see some customers deploying video conferencing, so working with the likes of Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and then you need a camera for that. So as you can see here with the display that we have today, we have a Logitech meetup camera which simply sits onto the top here, and then you can use that for video conferencing. And then we have a number of different wireless adapters as well, which is really key to the connect part of the message. And I'll run through in a slide's time around the different wireless options that we have, as well as the different software packages. Okay, so in terms of the wireless, you have 4 different options. You have the Miracast, which is inbuilt into the Optiplex Micro, so Windows K, and you can easily connect up to it. If you have a mixed infrastructure and you need to connect Mac devices, Windows and potentially Android, then what we lead with is the Action Tech Screen Beam, which is a plug and play device which goes onto the back, and it's easy to deploy. We do also recommend Barcode ClickShare and Intel Unite. So Intel Unite's a great platform where you can connect multiple users to the same display at one time. And again, with Intel Unite, you can choose to activate that free of charge on the Optiplex Micros. A little bit more around the Action Tech screen beam. So again, as I mentioned, it's a plug and play device. It goes onto the back of the monitor. It works via Miracast. But the key point to mention here is that it's compatible with Microsoft, Android, and Apple as well. So this is how we see the ecosystem coming together. You have your 70-inch display or your 75-inch display with your Optiplex Micro. If you're using video conferencing, then we have the Logitech camera options, we have the wireless adapters, and then we have the chief mounting options to suit your classroom. A little bit into the software side. So this is the FlatFrog software, which is a whiteboard software which comes free of charge with the Dell monitors. All you have to do is go to www.flatfrog.com/Dell and you can download this free of charge. And I can give you a quick demonstration on this now. So this is the whiteboard. It has finger and pen definition, so you can work in 2 different colours. And it also, as I mentioned earlier, it has up to 20 points of touch. But with this, you can easily import images as well, JPEG images, which you can annotate and you can move, and then you can easily share as well. But just to add, the styluses that come with the large format monitors of the Dell options, they're passive pens. Now, the reason that we use passive pens is that if these go missing or somebody accidentally puts them in their bag, they're very cheap to replace. Okay? And it also means that you don't walk into the classroom and then find that an active pen hasn't been charged, and then you then can't use the interactive whiteboard. In terms of the responsiveness, so as I mentioned earlier, these displays use in-glass technology. Now, in-glass gives you a really quick response time. It gives you a fluid writing experience, which is perfect, for instance, for maths tutors when they're writing their formulas. Sometimes with other touch technology in the market, you can sometimes see a lag and you have to wait for it to catch up. But you can see here, there's very little lag, virtually 0 lag. And then you can easily erase as well. But once you've made all of your notes, you can easily share it as well. So either save it to a SharePoint, share over Skype, OneNote, or email. Okay, so just going back to the presentation. We also have Dell Display Manager. Now again, this is a really cool piece of software that comes free of charge on all Dell monitors. And what we have here is Easy Arrange. Now what Easy Arrange allows you to do is you can work on multiple programs at the same time. But when you drag and drop, it will automatically resize those programs. So as you can see here, you could be working on a PowerPoint presentation, but then you also have the whiteboard to be able to make all of your notes. So that makes it a lot more user-friendly. Okay. And also, as I mentioned, because it's working off an Optiplex Micro PC, it's Windows-based. Okay, so it's all ready for Office 365, Skype, and Teams. But also, your teachers and your users should be well versed in how to use a Windows-based PC. So when you turn it on, as you can see here, it's a large touchscreen display, and you can easily add the programs that your teachers are going to be using day in, day out. But it also means you can add other software platforms that are based on Windows onto the Optiplex PCs. Okay, so just as a summary to go through what I've mentioned today, one of the key things to remember is that we're software and we're hardware agnostic. Okay, so we can easily integrate into your current environment, and we can use the software packages that you're already using on our displays. The second thing is constructive collaboration. It's engaging, it's more interactive with the whiteboard software that we have, and it's 20 points of touch, so you can have multiple students at the display at the same time. The interactive software, which I've just run through, which is the Flatfrog software and comes free of charge. As I mentioned, you can import images, you can easily annotate, you can easily export that to different files so you can easily share. And because it's working off a PC, there's no collaboration required. The PC simply slots into the back of the monitor, you put the monitor on the wall, and you're ready to go. And with the design, the modular design as well, it acts as an all-in-one solution. But it's an all-in-one solution that you can upgrade in the future pretty easily. All of the screens as well have an anti-glare and an anti-smudge coating, which is great as it means there's less distracting reflections, but with the anti-smudge coating it also means that you're not having to clean it all the time. In terms of manageability, you have an RS232 connection and you have an RJ45 connection as well, which means you can centrally manage these monitors as well. And then you have the Dell support. So 3 years advance exchange warranty as standard. You can increase that if you need to 5 years, and you can simply call through to the Dell tech support team who will help troubleshoot any issues that you have and send a replacement out if required. So it gives you the peace of mind that if you do have any issues, we're going to be able to resolve that pretty quickly. Okay, and finally, just want to say thank you again for making us #1 on the commercial monitors. If you do have any questions on the Dell large displays for education, then please feel free to contact Dell Technologies and we'll be more than happy to help.